the first time I used this deep tool and I did my whole body, let me tell you, it was the best massage I've ever had in my entire life. I felt so relaxed and I fell asleep instantly, even though it was like the middle of the day, because I was just
That's
like,
quite an
oh,
endorsement.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I have not been able to get that feeling again. That's me talking about my experiences with fascia manipulation. And we're going to get into that a little bit as we talk about saving time and energy by planning your week on the next Harness the Power of Planning podcast, the topic only portion. This is episode 73, starting now. Hey!
Hi. Welcome to our Thursday chat. I'm Natasha.
I'm Alegre.
And we are here every Thursday as BYWD, Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. Alegre is showing our 4 books, our bouquet of books, as we like to call them. We've written books, we've written courses and workshops, all with the mission of helping you prioritize yourself, save time, and achieve your goals. That is our mission. That's what we're about. That's what all of our books are about. In some form or another, we attack it from lots of different angles. Whether it's about getting ready for your holidays or life design or tackling your to-do list in a way that really helps your to-do list work for you and not make it more of a burden. And today we're going to be talking about specifically tackling your week and why that's important and how to give yourself a leg up by doing so.
Yeah, we always say that planning makes everything easier, and there's a commonly held belief that for every 1 minute of planning, you save 10 minutes of doing, which is what, like 1,000% return. I don't have my calculator.
It's mind-blowing. I'm not good at math, but it's better, right? 10
Yeah,
times more time is better. Saving that amount of time is better than losing it or stressing yourself out.
absolutely. So let's get into our topic on saving time and energy by planning your week. Before Natasha left for her retreat, we actually did saving time and energy by planning your month.
Mm-hmm.
And when we teach our course, Harness the Power of Planning, we do think about your year first. We kind of go macro and then we go micro. So from year to month to week to day, because you plan in the years and the months, but you live and you act in the day and the weeks.
Yes.
And so, some people might only have currently a monthly calendar, and you might only have a weekly or daily calendar, but we really do believe in the benefits of both. And using your monthly calendar more like where you put your appointments, and then your weekly/daily calendar is where you put, yes, your appointments, but you also put things like exercise, and maybe even what exercise. Like I have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do this workout called metabolic renewal. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, I do what's called fascia flossing. And on Thursday, I also hike. So that's not in my monthly calendar, but that is in my daily calendar. So that's kind of an idea of how they're used differently. And so I'm just going to grab our favorite planner, which Restream updated something. So we can now do this cool thing. Let's see. Let's try it. We're doing this for the first time. Oh, there you go.
QR code, right on.
Yeah, so we could add. So that's our favorite planner right there. I'm assuming you can click on it or QR. I don't know what you can do with it. But if you're interested in looking at a planner, now's a great time because the new year is only 3 months away.
Yeah. I know, right? Yes, I know. I was just talking with a student. I was like, oh my gosh, I'll see you in October. Okay, wow.
Yeah. So 3 months away. So it's a great time to get a planner. And you can start setting it up. And one of the first things I do, you can see, is I add these tabs because I usually have a planner 6 to 12 months before the new year. So I'm not able to get the ones that are dated. And even if I do get the dated ones, they still don't come with tabs. So I love these tabs. And I actually just received some new ones. Look at these. It's the exact same brand.
Are they sparkly?
They're holographic.
Oh, holograph. Yeah, okay.
And so these are the same tabs here. I'm going to click on this one now. So these are the tabs, and these tabs are fantastic because they're repositionable. And I've used tabs for years, the same tab, and not so much with my planner, but I sing in a choir. And so we're always getting new music in the choir. And so I'm always reusing the tabs that way. And they really do re-stick and stay there.
That's so
well.
great. Yeah, that's so great that you don't have to, buy new ones every year, or, you already have the dates, I mean, the month name on there, right? Just moving it to the next calendar or the next planner rather.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can also cut these. Like if they're too big, if you don't need them this big, you can cut them in half or in thirds if you don't need to write like the name, if you just need it just as a tab. But usually I will write in permanent marker on the space. So this is a gold one. It's really pretty. It's metallic. So
Yes, I love them. They're great.
they're fantastic. Avery has tons of them. So you can click on either of those links.
Yeah, you hit me to those because like the ones that come with planners often, they rip like almost within weeks. You know what I mean? Use them twice and they just like pull right off, or they just rip, and they're not built to last.
No. And you can also see all of our favorite planning tools at tinyurl.com/shop BYWD. So, you're much more likely to make something a habit when it's fun for you to do. Okay, because fun releases those chemicals in your brain that makes you want to do something again. Like I actually, I had a funny, so for those of you who've been listening, you know that I've been getting really deep into fascia, no pun intended. It's got many layers.
Remind me to tell you something about that.
I can't wait. So I've been getting really into it, and I didn't realize that fascia has many different sizes. So as small as, apparently you have fascia that wraps around every single follicle of hair that you have. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Holy moly.
To the giant pieces of fascia, like the one that runs under your foot, where people often get, plantar fasciitis. That's that huge piece of fascia. So obviously the little follicle ones and the giant tendon-like ones need different levels of manipulation. And I'd only been scratching the surface with fascia. God, it really just lends itself to all these puns.
Can't help it.
So I've been going deeper with it and getting tools that allow you to get into the deeper layers, because apparently fascia can get to the point where it attaches to the bone.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get there with some gentle brushing. You need, in fact, I'm looking at getting a block of wood that is a fascia tool that I'm super stoked about. But to that end, the first time I used this deep tool and I did my whole body, let me tell you, it was the best massage I've ever had in my entire life. I felt so relaxed and I fell asleep instantly, even though it was like the middle of the day, because I was just like,
quite an endorsement.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I have not been able to get that feeling again. And it's like, my brain is like, oh yeah, that was really good. Let me give you all these chemicals because I want you to keep doing it. But for some reason, it's not giving me the exact same chemical release. It's like,
dude, it's am like I going to get that time, again?
Yeah. Just the first time is free.
First time is free.
The rest are going to be work. But
it's just a pharmacy up here, just doling out them.
Yeah. And it's like, sometimes it's really generous, and sometimes it's like, here's a little bit. Maybe you keep doing it, you can get some more. So anyway, so 4 weeks ago, we went over what it looks like to work with your month. And this month's empty because this is next February, but here's a month's layout. And so today we're going to talk about setting up your week. And Natasha, look, not just Natasha and I, but really all productivity experts say that when you fix an appointment with an activity, you're much more likely to do it. So for instance, by me writing down exercise into a time on my planner, I'm much more likely to do it than if it's just this general idea of like, I should exercise today. Right. So hold on, I will.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Like, where am I going to fit in the exercise? Right. Because you're just like, oh, I've got to exercise. And it just becomes something that's on your planner as opposed to something that you've put in. We like to say not just in space, like on a to-do list, but also in time by putting it in your planner as well and putting a time to it and having that exist outside of your head and exist in time and space.
Exactly. So for me, it's really hard to pick up my 2024 planner because it gets really full by this time of the year.
Yes.
But you can see at 5 a.m. I have metabolic renewal, fascia floss, metabolic renewal, fascia floss, metabolic renewal. So literally, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your monthly calendar and you're going to transfer over any appointments you have into your weekly calendar. And we recommend doing this in pencil because things change. And we recommend picking a time, maybe on Sunday, maybe on Saturday, whatever works for you. My family usually looks at our planners around noonish on Sunday, and we look at our week together so that we can remind each other, hey, today you have to pick up so-and-so, or today we're meeting to go to this back to school event or whatever, just to remind us of where it is, right? So usually around noonish on Sunday is when I am looking at my monthly calendar, and then step one, transferring over all of the appointments that need to go into that weekly calendar. So that's step one. Step two is adding in the things that we're talking about that you think, oh, I'd like to do that. I'll do it when I have time. This is when you make time to do it.
This is
So
it. This is the time you make time.
Exactly. So you put in, let's say, your exercise, or maybe you're working on playing the guitar and you want to fit in practice time. Put in practice time. And look, even if it's only 15 or 20 minutes, that's great. You don't have to reserve an hour to do these things. In fact, a little bit, and having that little bit of a victory by saying, yay, I exercised for 10 minutes today, or I practiced Italian for 5 minutes today, or I practiced the guitar for 5 minutes today. Those are fantastic. In fact, Natasha will talk about the Kaizen way, which is a great thing to work into this idea of planning small things that you want to do.
Right. So it's about creating that wedge in there, even if literally it is a minute long. Finding that something you want to create a new habit. In my case, getting into the habit of stretching has been a journey for me. And when I stretch, I feel great. But that doesn't always that's not always the motivator, right? Even though you're like, wow, when I stretch, it really makes a difference, it feels great. But if I don't wedge that in with a certain time, so you can either put that into your calendar, your weekly planner, or I have attached it to something I always do every day, which is make myself a smoothie. But even just that 1 minute wedge, 60 seconds of stretching, now I've put that in there. And in fact, we talked about this at the meditation retreat because they want you to meditate in the morning and in the evening. And the teacher said, she's like, even if you don't get the full hour in, sit down for 15 minutes so that you continue to keep that little pie of wedge in there, that habit. And it will expand into greater lengths of time. So I started stretching 1 minute, and after a while, that 1 minute just felt really, really great. Okay, awesome. I could go longer easily, 2 minutes. Next thing you know, it's 5 minutes. And 5 minutes of stretching makes a huge difference. I am not up to 20 minutes yet. That's okay. I do that occasionally. I'll occasionally watch a 15 or 20 minute stretching video that I'll go along with. That's not an everyday thing, but the wedge, that little wedge of a tiny little habit, you can do anything for 60 seconds, right?
Absolutely.
If you put it in there and have that be something that you would then also put into your weekly planner, it exists not just in your head. Oh yeah, I've got to do that. Oh yeah, I've got to do that. It's like, oh no, I have that set for 8 a.m. Oh wow. And even if you look back and you're like, oh, I missed it, but at least it's there. It's something, it also reminds you, oh wow, I missed it. Maybe I really need to find that 60 seconds somewhere. You can find 60 seconds. You can start with that.
Yeah, I saw a new article too that said even 20 seconds, which, wow, 20 seconds, that's really getting to like the bare bones of the bare bones.
Yeah.
Even 20 seconds of deep diaphragmatic breathing can do wonders for calming the mind. And it has to be diaphragmatic breathing, which if you don't know what that is, Natasha could probably explain way better than me. So I'm going to let you explain.
I can talk about that in great length. But the main thing is you really want to make sure that you keep the front of your body soft when you breathe and allow your abdominal wall to extend when you inhale. You're not filling your belly up with air. People think that that's what happens. Like, oh, breathe into your belly. Well, technically you can't breathe into your belly, but it looks like you are if you allow the front of the body to be soft. And so if you allow the front of the body to be soft and you don't raise your shoulders and you just keep the upper part of the body pretty still and you take a nice deep breath, allow the abdominal wall to be soft, it extends. What's really happening is that your diaphragm is pushing down on the organs below and the organs are pooching out a little bit, right? It's not a huge undulation. And what that does is it activates your vagus nerve, and your vagus nerves will then go ahead and help give you those calming hormones, those ones that really help you calm down. This is why when you're agitated, people go, take a deep breath, but don't take a deep breath like this. Don't raise your shoulders. Most people say take a deep breath. They go, it's actually a very restrictive breath that actually restricts your rib cage and your lungs.
And it
So,
activates your amygdala, I read. The
oh, for
short,
real? The
yeah.
short,
So
yeah.
that,
So that's a
that
very
fight or flight.
shallow. Yes, I can imagine. Right? So,
Mhm.
I don't sound relaxed when I inhale
No.
like that, right? So you allow the
Absolutely.
belly to be soft. Really, honestly, when you think about it, when we're both moms, if any of you are new parents out there, when you would go to check on your baby while they're sleeping, if your baby's chest is heaving, you got to bring that baby to the ER, right? When you see a baby
Mhm.
naturally sleeping, they're just relaxed on their back. What's moving? Their abdominal wall is moving.
Mhm.
Their belly is
Mhm.
moving, because babies know how to breathe naturally. We start getting
Yes.
older and we start sucking it in and pulling in our core and suck it in and make sure your tummy's flat and all that kind of stuff. And that is
Mhm.
really contrary to being able to have a nice, healthy, relaxed breathing. So super duper important. And 20 seconds of it. Yeah. Because we don't think about
Mhm.
it a lot. We don't think about our breathing a lot. And that
No,
makes
and
a
I've
huge
been
difference.
the fascia work I've been doing has been leading to the more diaphragmatic breathing as well. So I've been
Yeah.
really thinking about a lot. So yeah, so anything you want to do, improve your breathing, exercise, maybe reconnect with friends that are out of state, put those appointments into your weekly planner because they're much more likely to happen. Okay. And then the third step, sorry, it covers up Natasha when I do this.
That's all right.
I'm like, where Restream, where can you put it that it doesn't close her up? Yeah. There's Natasha looking up over steps to plan your week. Okay. And then step 3 is to it's actually called a time block your to-dos. And if you are our #1 selling book, not just #1 selling, but it's been a bestseller, 3-2-1 Done, 3 simple strategies to get your to-do list done. We go into great detail about how to time block your to-dos. But we all have running lists of things that need to happen, whether it's buying birthday presents or buying school supplies or getting a dance for homecoming. And these are things that you need to find a place to put them so that, like the other ephemeral things like exercise and reconnecting with friends, to make sure that they happen. And so the best way to do that is to, again, put that into your weekly planner so that it happens. So like right now I have a thing here that I have to file a jury duty pay request thing, because although I did jury duty almost a year ago, I've never been paid for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
get that
And so
money.
I have that in a specific moment of free time in my day written in there. Also, things like go buy groceries. I have it put in there right before I pick up my daughter, because otherwise I'm not in my car and I'd rather stay at home and focus on stuff. And so I'm going to get in my car to pick up my kid. So I'm going to go run by the grocery store and pick up some things as well. So put your to-dos into your planner at a specific time.
Right, at a specific time. That again is called time blocking. Again, taking it off of the to-do list and putting it into time makes it much more, A, likely you'll do it, and B, generally you can see how it can make your day actually more efficient. And this is where a little bit of planning saves you time, right? Because if Allegra had maybe not pre-planned that and be like, oh, I should stop at the grocery store before pickup, then tomorrow when she's like, oh, we're out of eggs, and now she's running off to the grocery store in the middle of doing something else or whatever. And so this winds up costing you a lot more time, peace of mind, frantic energy, all that kind of stuff. So taking a little bit of time to do that beforehand really does actually save you time.
Yeah, it allows you to be more effective and efficient with your time, but also resources. I'm spending less time in my car.
Right.
You know, if you have a gas car, less gas, less general wear and tear on your car by just doing a little bit of planning. And yeah, then I have the eggs when I need them.
Right.
So those are the 3 steps for planning your week. And as we mentioned, if you want to, you can always re-listen to the audio by going to the Harness the Power of Harness the Power podcast. Harness the Power of Planning podcast. There's a lot of P in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely check out our Saving Time and Energy by Planning Your Month, because they work in tandem, the monthly calendar and the weekly calendar. They each have slightly different benefits to using them.
Right. 100%. Yeah. We recommend both.
And if you want to go deeper in time blocking, go to tinyurl.com/BYWD Amazon, and you can get our book 3-2-1 done, 3 simple strategies to get your to-do list done. And you can go deeper with that in terms of time blocking, because and by the way, all of our books, if you haven't seen them, they're small. They're designed to be done in 45 minutes approximately, and they're all workbooks. So you're not just going to read the theory behind time blocking. We're going to actually walk you through how to time block so that you can actually acquire the knowledge. And Natasha and I know that that's how you learn best.
Yeah, but by doing. The magic of doing.
Learning by doing. Yay. Well, thank you for joining us this week, and we will see you next week. Dream wild, wild dreamer. Thanks for joining us for the Harness the Power of Planning podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen.